What's going on, guys? It is Madman Plant. We are here in Syracuse, New York at NECANN going through interviews. It's been a great day. I've been getting a lot of footage for the main promo video I'm making. And right now I'm with Jasmine from Green Essence, Florida.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Now, did you drive up like I did? Or did you fly?
I flew in
Yeah.
to Rockwell and drove over. So about an hour and a half drive
Nice.
here. Yeah. Yeah. It was a nice drive too at 1 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we are here talking about all things cannabis, and you guys just applied for a license. And I think this is going to be a good discussion because it shows different sides and different opinions. You know, at the end of the day, I do think that it's all about being in the community, whether, you know, you're a dispensary, whether you're a home grower, whether you're just a smoker, whether you're somebody that supports cannabis. But I also see the differences, and I think this would be a good opportunity to talk about. Now, you have been applied for your license for a while now.
Yeah.
And with everything you're going, explain to everybody, like you explained to me, how you guys operate and the vision for what you guys have.
Absolutely. Well, our group, Green Essence Florida, we formed about a few months after the first 5 licenses were awarded in Florida. Every license after the first 5 were lawsuits, but we were hoping that the application period would reopen. So I would tell our shareholders maybe it'd be 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 8 years later, they finally opened. And we applied last year, April 2023. So I do understand that Florida is one of the most difficult states to enter the cannabis space, and it's very limited with licensing. We only have 25 operators right now, and they're only giving out 22 more. But I also have been learning and just doing my own R&D at home. So when I saw your podcast, I was like, oh, no, I love this. They need to know that we can be on both sides. We can be on, we support and not even support. I am not going to let anything get into get in front of us getting access to Florida. So I'll do everything we need to do for the application, but I also do believe we need to bring more craft growers into the market.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a benefit because my thing is, unless the dispensary and the cultivation are aligned and it's truly about the plant, it's hard for me to fathom on a large scale where people could truly put the love and detail. And that's one thing that, as a craft grower or small batch grower or whatever you want to call a home grower, is the fact that, you know, it's not just time and nutrients that you're feeding these plants. You know, you're talking to these plants, you're spending time with them, you're idolizing them, you're taking pictures of them. You know, you're building this kind of essence around it. And don't get me wrong, I love the dispensary when I'm out of state. And obviously I don't break the law. I don't travel when I can't with weed. And sometimes you're going into like California or Arizona or Michigan. And I will say Michigan, I want to give like the best. Probably Michigan would get an A for their quality. And then also Massachusetts. I really like Massachusetts. We go to did you go to Boston NECANN this year?
I didn't go to Boston.
Okay. Are you planning to go next year?
Yes.
Please do. NECANN Boston is one of the biggest shows that they have, and it is awesome. And it really gives you a real representation of where NECANN is going. Because, see, NECANN is also a growing market, and they've entered a couple of new states this year that really add benefit to them. So let's talk about you did a home grow.
Yes.
And you found it challenging, you said a little bit?
I wouldn't say the challenge was more so being consistent, you know, being every day brought a different result with the plant. And so if I travel a lot, and so often I go out of town and I come back and be like, oh my God, my babies, what's going on? And so with the technology, I had to figure out, okay, how can I get an automated watering system, irrigation system? How can I get the fans? And so what I'm using now, I have my Blink camera system that's watching them every day right now, so I can check in. I have my rain point system that lets me do the irrigation from my phone, and it's automatically timed. I'm using the Vizon. It's the green and black system. It gives a full automated approach. And so this time it's been a little less complicated for me because I have the automation, but just to see the resilience of the plant, to see how sensitive it is when you're not giving it that attention, it brought back why on a large scale of having like 100,000 square foot grow, you can't really give that type of attention.
Yeah.
It makes me appreciate the craft grow model that, you know, with 2,600 square feet, you can bang out some pretty awesome, you know, product. And although we do have a large vision for our company as Green Essence Florida, we want to open more than 150 dispensaries in the state. Awesome. Our equal and parallel goal is to make sure we bring on as many craft growers into our model because Florida's different. Anyone who benefits from the profit has to be an equity holder. So we'd have to bring in every craft grower, which the vision and the model that I've had, one of the things I've run into is that because of our regulatory environment, if anything comes back on the background check, which most of our greater, better craft growers might have one of those things, we're interested in changing that landscape. If you are looking to enter the cannabis space and if you have a previous cannabis conviction, it should not be a dilemma from getting a career in the cannabis space. That's something that can't happen right now. If there's something that pops up on your level 2 background screening, we couldn't bring you in even if we wanted to. So that's a major, I think that's more of the issue for Florida than anything.
Is being able to kind of keep that integrity and protect that. Why is that such a concern when it's more about the flower? What would be the concern behind that? If let's say you didn't have somebody that weren't be able to cleanse that.
Well, I think from the people that I've met that we like to bring into our umbrella, that is one of the challenges. I would say it's more about our historic reputation in Florida. Right now, I've gone to MJ BizCon and other events, and I've brought my Florida cannabis, and they're like, "No, I'm good. Yeah, I know, I appreciate it, but I'm all right." And I think as a whole, I'm disappointed. You know, I'm all about feedback of the reputation that Florida is currently getting. When historically, when you look at the type of cannabis that came out of Florida before legalization, I mean, we're the Sunshine State after all. So we had some really good cultivars. We still do, but those guys are underground, and that's who I'd like to bring to the forefront because I think it's a bigger national and global impression that Florida needs to make in terms of the integrity and the sophistication. We have some great things in Florida, and I'm just going to say I apologize to the general public if you haven't had access to it, but this is something that I do think we need to bring the craft grow model back out in Florida so that we can help the public get some of this old school. One of our craft growers have been growing, just to put it in perspective, for 30, 40 years.
That's awesome.
So this is the kind of cannabis that we want to bring to the forefront of the state.
Now, for those 30 or 40 years, how many of those genetic strains is he bringing to the table from that time?
All of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we have some land trade, we have one of the most, I think, one of the biggest things we like to bring in the outdoor space to Florida, because we can't grow outdoor due to what's kind of sprayed in the air and you know, what's just done in Florida overall. We have a good strain that's coming out that's outdoor resistant to some of these things that are being placed in the air, and that's something that we'd be happy to bring to the market. But of course, the regulatory environment has to support it. So I would just say, as a corporation, I know like it's looking bad guy, but when you have the right guy on the top of a corporation, one of the things we'd be fighting for is bringing in the workforce that may have the level 2 backgrounds that come in questionable. We think anybody with cannabis on the level 2 background should be able to work in the space without question.
Yeah.
We also believe that we should be able to look at an outdoor schematic and maybe have that conversation about the type of pollutants being put in the air from mosquitoes. We had a big Zika outbreak, so we do have constant flyovers in Florida because we're under sea level and it's a lot of mosquitoes out there. Yeah. So we spray over constantly. And of course, in my opinion, those things end up in our water, our food. It's already in our supply. So we just have to figure out how to come up with a strain resistant plant to those things, and we have. So yeah.
That's awesome. It must be such an accomplishing feeling to be a pioneer like that. What I want to do is I want to get you on my long format show, which is actually 2 hours, where I have you submit questions that we can dive deep into some real relevant stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, because unfortunately we're at the end, where can people find you and how can we support your initiative?
Sure. You can find Green Essence Florida at Green Essence Florida on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and our website is greenessenceflorida.com. We're very transparent about our process. We're probably one of the only applicants in Florida where you'll be able to see our medical director and our full team. You can find me personally at the Jasmine Johnson Company on Instagram. And we're happy to talk, to have conversations. Florida has been like that hidden secret space, and we've been at it for 8 years. And we're very happy to tell our story and hopefully soon receive our license.
Well, I hope you do. And I really hope the best for your company. I think it's great. And when you have the love and passion, which obviously you can tell right off the back from speaking to you, I hope you really do well. I think that's going to be good. It's going to be great for you guys. Something that you can trust, something that you can believe in. I think that's what we want when we think of dispensaries.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, guys, we have one more podcast coming your way, and then we will be done for today. And we will be back here tomorrow early, and it's going to be an awesome time. We will see you guys very, very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.